How's everybody doing out there? This is Nico B, Blackeffect. Whoa. I want to go ahead and get into this, talk about this quickly. Interracial dating gone wrong, part three. Interracial dating gone wrong, part three. I want to just give you some tips, you know, for things to look out for. Like when you trying to call yourself, for black women or for women, they call it swirling and whatever, just interracial. It's interracial dating. And this has been going on since the beginning. So it's nothing new. But of course, over here in America, it's a new concept for just because due to, the history of the country, the slavery, white supremacy, things like that, you are having a new integration of black men with white women. And you have more black women getting with coupling with white men as well. Just gonna have the two rise in number because again, but you just remember you didn't have they remember we were looked at as subhuman when the white man slept with the black woman. He only used her as a sexual object to get off his sexual kinks. That's all. She was never looked at as valuable to him because she was looked at like a pet, like his animal. Now, fast forward to 2022, you still have these same mindsets that are within the group of people. I mean, it's not everyone, but you're silly if you think that history and things like that, generations of generational thinking and collective thought don't affect the people today. You're crazy. It's just it's a spirit behind that. Time is what the events that happen in time is what causes what you have, the mindset that you have today. That's why when Dr. Umar was on Fox Soul breaking down history to Cynthia G and that panel, they was looking like he was blowing their mind. They were just aloof because they don't understand how history, like how you have to know history is important to know who you are and who you're dealing with today. I mean, family history is important. Like he was breaking down, Dr. Umar was breaking down to the medical history is important. When you go to the doctor, you need your medical history to know that it can treat you moving forward. So you got to understand the history of this country. Those who buy into that mindset. You still have some people who are being indoctrinated into white supremacy. You still have that. You have people, who still only prefer to date within a race. I'm not knocking that. If you only prefer to date people within your race, that's your prerogative. Who cares? I'm not here to say that's good or bad. If you're a white guy and you only want to date white women, fine. If you're a white woman, you only want to date white guys, that's okay. If you're a black person, you only want to date black people, we get it. But if you're going to interracially date, which you're free to do in this country in 2022, you are free to do that. Again, you've been having it happen since the beginning of time. Look at Samson. Samson got with Delilah. Now, I want to give you that. I bring that up because this is when interracial dating goes wrong. You understand? And I want the brothers to understand this. When you get with a white woman, you in turn inherit her family also. You in turn inherit. You're gonna have to be around her family, her uncles, brothers, cousins, sisters. You're gonna in turn be around white people. I want you to understand that if you're not a brother who want to deal with white people, and I don't understand, like people are people, but you do have some black people who just not comfortable at this moment being around a lot of white people. They just don't trust them. They don't, due to the things that's went on in the country, they don't feel like they have anything in common with them. They don't feel like they relate to each other. So they'd rather be around their own. You understand? And you have some white people who are the same way. They only deal in their own circles. Only time they really interact with a black person is when they have to, or they listen to rap, and a lot of those people, they love listening to rap music because that's their tap in, that's their conduit to black culture and black men and women that they don't interact with in real life. which they should be interacting with them in real life. And you won't have to, just try to get a fantasy surge from listening to rap and listening to music. Oh, I can listen to some hip hop. That's been going on. Like, this is what we have to deal with as black men and women. This has been going on. This isn't new. Look at CB4. Like, CB4 showed you how you saw that senator's son in there listening to rap. Talking about, come on, man. And the senator is furious. He over there talking racist. He got a whole bunch of racist ideologies. And his son is in there listening to the very people who he trying to oppress or who he don't care. Or it's not even now, they may not even be directly oppressing them, but they don't care about the black man and woman's plight. You understand? So, and that's a certain group of Caucasian people. It's not all. But those, you got to watch again. But if you getting with their daughter, you don't know if that guy, they father or whatever, is harboring racist ideologies. Because the woman who, women will get with men from other nations. That's just how it is. Like, women will get with whoever, they see fit is can do the job, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's just how women are. But now when it comes to men, you have the choice to build with what you want to build with. You understand? And don't get me wrong, like, as a woman in 2022, you have the choice too. You don't have to be a Negro bed wench at this point. You don't have to. You understand? Because the same with you. Like, a lot of black women want to swirl, but they don't like white women. You got to understand, you get with this white man, you inherit his mother, his sister, the women in the community. You finna have to deal with them. You understand? When you go places and stuff, like, if you get with an actual white person, you're gonna go places that they go, and then they, and if you want to be integrated in white society, and I'm using air quotes, because otherwise, why are you even getting with them? You understand? Otherwise, like, you could be friends with whoever you want to be friends with, love who you want to love, but you choose who you build relationships and families with, and that comes with turn with building community. So you have to have that mindset of inclusion of everyone and everything. That's where interracial couples go wrong, because like I said, a lot of these people who do that, they only after they are in it for lust factors, like for fetish factors, because you can do it right now, and they don't really have that inclusion mindset or building the mindset to build anything. And I guarantee you, brothers, don't come into the other communities playing games, bro. Like, don't come in here trying to create baby mamas and stuff. Just don't even do it, bro. You gonna mess your whole life up even worse, because these women not gonna play with you. It's another thing, like, and I'm talking to the brothers mainly in this one. When you get with a white woman, you gotta understand that her culture isn't your culture, and so you don't understand how she operates when in her toxicity. Like, she can be just as toxic as a black woman, and at the end of the day, you got to know what to look for. You can't have white blinders on, just because, oh, I got me a white woman, you think you didn't accomplish something, and you just overlook everything she do because of her skin. No, brother, you better pay attention, because that woman will mess around and pull one of them moves, like how that Instagram model stabbed that dude up. She mess around and try to hire somebody to kill you. She'll hire somebody. She'll play the victim. See, the thing is a lot of black women, like, they'll put, they stuff is on the surface. They not good at finesse or being subtle, a lot of them, but white women are. They're very subtle. Look at how Delilah tricked Samson. You understand? Delilah smooth tricked Samson. Samson's some strong man, ethnic brother, you know what I'm saying, from the Bible. We all know Samson was strong. He was blessed by God. Samson was a very strong man, and Delilah was the one who was able to seduce him, play him, play with his heart, and then in turn betray him and get him captured. And they put Samson's eyes out. Samson was we all know the story of Samson, and Samson ended up bringing down the tower, bringing down the whole Colosseum or whatever where he was at, and killing himself and everybody else that was in there. Now, this is just the Bible has many cautionary tales for us. Even David, like, and this wasn't an interracial relationship, but even David, when it came to Bathsheba, women, like, he wasn't paying any attention. He was consumed by his lust. You understand? And being consumed by your lust, that's when you get in trouble. So, brothers, you got to pay attention. It doesn't matter just because the woman, you get you a white woman. Now you thinking, she got decent parents or they may live in a decent neighborhood. You thinking you didn't hit the jackpot, just because you get some guys like, man, it's like, man, you need to have more self-worth about yourself. Don't worry about trying to come into the white society or moving on up. You don't worry about, bro. Move on up on your own. You need to be trying to help your own people. That's the thing. Like, we don't even care about helping our own people no more. At the end of the day, like, that never was the agenda. It don't seem like, with all of these race baiters and that's what, where people like Cynthia G have a point. That's where I have to give credit where credit is due. That's where she does have a point. You understand? Among all the nonsense she says, there is some truth to some of the things she says. And one of those things is that a lot of black men, of course, not with the exceptions of, with the exceptions of the ones who we know about, like we know a lot of we know some black men have done great things, for their people. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, we could go on and on and on and on. We know that the people we know them for a reason. But a big majority just only wanted to integrate, only wanted to, and it's nothing wrong with integrating in the society where you are, but the mindset, it's not about integration. A lot of the big majority just wanted to just only be, a part of white society and just have the things to be able to have the things that they have. One of those things being the ability to date the white woman. Or the ability to marry the white man. That I never thought like that. Like, that's not you're thinking about you're thinking small. You're honestly thinking small. You understand? You need to just be a human being and think about who you can help. Like, it's not about who you want to date. Again, you can date who you want, but just understand what comes with it. Because these things can get dangerous. Again, you're a black woman who want to swirl, and you're going to inherit their sisters, their mothers. So now when the mother is talking to her son, or putting all this rift in your relationship, don't get mad at him. You knew this was coming. When the sister, you go to certain places or go out, the sister want to go out. You don't know how to conduct yourself, or you don't feel comfortable going out with them to the places that they go. You think that she tripping because you don't understand why she's saying certain things or doing certain things that you just don't get. You don't get their culture. You don't get why and a lot of you don't get that white men are different than, in certain emotional states than black men. Like, they're different. Like, a lot of white men may not tolerate the same things that you're used to black men tolerating. Just be mindful of that, because that can get you hurt. You understand? As a woman. And then as a man, if you going out, and you got to understand you inherited that woman's whole family now. If you consider yourself want to be with her. And a lot of, they could be racist white men in the midst. And you have to pay attention to that and look at that. And you got to set your boundaries and let them know, like, look, man, don't come around here with that nonsense. This is my woman. You know what I'm saying? Now you have to have that mindset that this is my woman now. But you still, with that being said, you still can be cordial and respectful to the family. But you need to take them in your world. The Lord say when when a man when a man and woman get together, they leave their mother and father and they cling to each other. They're no longer be worried about what your mama and daddy got to think. Like, what I'm saying, your brother and sister, like, this is us right here. And y'all need to get with this. You know what I'm saying? That's how you have to break that down, because you can mess around and get yourself in a dynamic to one of them get out situations as a black man. Real talk, that movie, you could really do that. You could get yourself in a get out situation. The woman basically flip on you. You know what I'm saying? Pull a 180 on you. And for her own kind. And you know how deep, dark of a betrayal that is. Like, black, ain't no man gonna want to be, dealing with nothing like that. So in turn to avoid that, why don't you get with your own woman? Shit. If she betray you, it'll just be just a betrayal, but it ain't gonna be for race or for anything like that. You know, you have a lot of women today, no matter they really trying to betray their man for feminism. Like, come on, man, you tripping right now. This is the times we in, but I'm telling you, like, man, just be mindful when you interracially date, because then you also never know who looking at you. You know, it don't even have to be people in your family, but then you just have people in the community looking at you, jealous. You know, if you see a black man with a young white woman, that's one of the highest that's one of the things that really irk white men. When they see a black man with a young, hot white woman, it irks them. You know what I'm saying? Those who are insecure, incels. The same way that it will be vice versa. You saw a hot black woman with a white man or something like that, and that's what black women say. You know, that it will irk an insecure black man. Maybe, you know, I can see that. Cause the same go, and you know, the same with a Hispanic guy. You see another race or something, or Asian. Like, but see, Asians really don't care. That's the thing. We need to take pages from other groups. Like, as a man, because if you're a real man, why do you care what that's not your woman. Let her do. Because a lot of Asian women tend to like to date white guys. They just pretty much left their own men. It's just like, look, hey, if I get the chance, I'm not with you. I'm not gonna deal with you. I'm gonna go. That's what they. But but in their country, the Asian men, when they in their country, the Asian men subject they women. The women get what they program, and that's that. They get with Asian men. So but when they get in the States, they want to interracially date. This is fine. This is America. Everything's is a melting pot. Everybody's here, and though it has a dark history, deep dark history, and a lot of the things have to do with us, built the deep dark history surrounding us, black people. It's still a melting pot of everyone. And we need to go ahead and accept that now, and drop all the stereotypes and the freaking foolishness and ill will just when you see a person dating another person that look like you. So what? Like, so it really don't matter. But you have people willing to harm people for that. Black women always talk about, again, how black men looking at that when they with a white woman. First of all, that's very rare that you see a black woman that that we want or something like that, or that we would date, that's with a white man, and and just out and about. But okay, so what? We do see it. You know what I'm saying? You do see it. I mean, it depends on where you at. It could be more common than not, depending on where demographic you're in. But okay, I guarantee you don't have the black men not sitting there thinking to themselves they want to harm something. They want to harm you or him. Like, why? You understand? That's like, why? But now on the shoes on the other foot, when you see a black man with a young white woman, you got to remember there are still racist ideologies in this country. You didn't have black people subjecting white people. You didn't have black folks saying you can't date my girl. Like, in actuality, black women were getting raped, done up, spun up, all up and down the board, man, to where, it was sickening. You understand? It's sickening the black man. So that's not the case. So why would we be pissed? Like, it's only, and if we were, we wouldn't, it's not being pissed. The reason why you get them looks is not because people are pissed. It's because these people understand the history, and they like, now you have the choice and you still do that. And we understand, but that's fine as long as it's a healthy relationship. But just understand that these things can be dangerous. You have to understand who you're dealing with. That's all. Understand the environment that you take on. You're not just going to be dealing with that person. It's a whole nother culture. And if you already in life, you can make you step to the left too far, you step on a landmine, boom, it's over. So now you going into territory you're not even familiar with. You know what I'm saying? And that's how people end up losing their life. It was just a story I just covered about two teens that just got killed by a 17-year-old on an ATV on a hiking trail. This is a black person. Like, black men don't by and large be out in the woods hiking and hunting and stuff like that, doing all that. We need to start doing that on our own. But the last thing you need to do is have your first outing and you with your girl or something like that. You never know, man, who could, who watching you, who's stalking you, who could be, you never know. Like, even her brothers could plan that that out. You know, so on some get out stuff, they could plan that out. You know what I'm saying? They could plan it out to meet you up and hit you. And at the end of the day, once you get hit all up and killed, ain't nobody, she just gonna go about her business. They still gonna be her brother. She probably still talk to him. If she, you know what I'm saying, depending on what type of person she is. But the same with women. You go and get with these guys, who, you know, white men do a lot more. They have a different culture. They do a lot more different things than black men. Like, in which, I mean, the cultures are meshing at the end of the day, because again, something like going hunting or riding ATV, that's something that, you know, anybody can do. But let's be real, black people by and large don't swim in lakes, jumping in random lakes and doing like that. We never done that. You don't know anything about that. You going out there, a dude taking you on a hiking trail, man, he'll leave you there, take your compass, you ain't gonna know what to do, you'll be dead. So be careful, man. You understand? You dealing with Hispanics. You might be dating a Hispanic person, man. You go over there, they want to go to their country. You go into their country with them. You don't know what's going on over there, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't speak. You better watch it. You know what I'm saying? You better be cautious. You don't speak the language. You gotta tell her. You gotta set parameters, man, in these relationships, and let them know. Let the people you with understand. Like, man, look, we from two different cultures. Like, you know what I'm saying? So don't try to. Let's not be stupid here. You know, I don't want to go nowhere blindly, and I know you don't either. So I wouldn't put you in harm's way. So don't do that. Don't do that with me. And you know, if you choose to do it, hey, it's no knock, man. You just be safe out there. So with that being said, it's Nico B. Blackeffect. Gone.